Hello engineers, in this video lesson we're going to do problem 1-5. So on your desktop, go ahead and open Autodesk Inventor 2024. The part will be in inches and it'll be a continuation of what we've been doing, problem 1-3, 1-4, 1-5. In Autodesk Inventor, go ahead and click on that drop down menu in the top left and click on part. Autodesk Inventor is defaulted to inches. So we don't need to do anything at the beginning. All we have to do is click start a new sketch. And for this particular object, we're going to start on the XY plane. So just click on the XY plane there. Then click on rectangle. Then find the origin, which is that center point. Click one time and move your mouse to the top right, like so. And in the top dimension there, the length, we're going to type 2. And then we're going to press tab on the keyboard, and you're going to press 1.25. And click on the front button on that view cube, and then tap escape on the keyboard so that you can see if you typed in the correct dimensions. If you ever type in the wrong dimensions, what you do is hover your mouse over the text, not on the line, over the actual numbers, and you can double click and then you can change those dimensions. Once you've confirmed that your dimensions are correct, click on Finish Sketch, then hover over the view cube and click on that little house icon, that little home. Then go ahead and click on the Extrude command, and we're going to extrude that by 1 inch, so distance A should be 1 inch. Click OK, click on that home button. And for the next step, we're going to cut down into the part. So hover over the top, right click, click New Sketch. And you see me moving the part around. So what I'm doing is I'm using the mouse wheel and I'm pressing down on the mouse wheel, and then I can pan up, down, left, right. The mouse wheel is also responsible for the zoom. So moving the mouse forward and backwards will zoom in or zoom out. So you should see the top surface of the view cube. And we're going to go ahead and click rectangle. Find the bottom right corner of the object. Click and move into the object like so. And we're going to dimension afterwards. We're not going to insert dimensions right now. So go ahead and click somewhere inside like that. And now on your keyboard, press D. That'll activate the dimension tool. And we're going to dimension from this edge to this line. So click the edge, click this line, move it out to the right, click one more time and press 0.25 and repeat on this dimension here. Okay, so double check that you've made the correct dimensions. Okay, now I'm going to show you a trick that I like to do. I'm going to click on that line tool, and you're going to draw, you're going to find, for this one, we're going to find the midpoint. So you're going to hover over the left edge here, and it should change, it should like snap to a dot, and that dot may or may not be green. You can click one time and then move over to the next line, and you can actually go past it because I'm going to show you a couple things. And make sure that you're at 0 degrees if you notice the degrees there, and click and then tap escape on the keyboard. Now this line, we don't need it that long, but I want to show you a keyboard command for trim. So on your keyboard, like your keyboard, tap the X key, and then using your mouse, you're going to drag across, and it's going to trim that line. Now we can, since we selected the midpoint, that dimension is fine, but to double check, we need to make sure that the line is 0.5. So I'm just going to click accept. Go ahead and click finish. Okay, so now we're going to extrude downwards, but pay very close attention to what I do first. before you do anything, because you might get click happy and it won't work the way it should. So click extrude, and this is what I'm talking about. It will automatically select something, and we don't want that. So find profile and click on that X that was just there. And what we're going to do first is we're going to hover over and check if this surface is activated or able to be activated. And it looks like it's not. So we're going to cancel out. We're going to move our mouse to the left where the browser is for the sketch. So we're going to click on that sketch, and then we're going to right click and click edit sketch. Now it's zoomed in kind of weird, so I'm going to click the top button on the view cube here. And then I'm going to click on the project geometry button above the words, and then hover over, and that whole thing should be greened out, and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to click finish sketch. Then click home. Okay, so now click extrude. If anything pops up again, just click on that profile and that little X that's going to be right here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut down this one. Okay, so we're going to go cut by distance. We're going to actually do a distance this time, and that's going to be 0.5. Okay, and then there's a little plus button here. So you're going to click that plus button and then select this rectangle and click cut. And I believe that is going to be 0.75. Yep, there we go. And then click OK. All right, so if that was a little confusing or a little hard to follow, I highly recommend going backwards in the video and replaying whatever parts you might have missed. Okay, welcome back. And now we're going to actually add a hole in this area. So I'm going to right click, new sketch. And for hole, people kind of argue back and forth about whether using circle or something called point. For this video lesson, we're going to use point. So click point. And then in this area, click one time. And then press D on the keyboard for dimension. And you're going to click on that point, click on the right edge here, and then bring your dimension down and click. And that's going to be, 1 second, I got to do some calculations. That's going to be 0.375, enter. And then click the point again, click this edge here, and that's going to be 0.375, and then click enter. Now, I made the incorrect dimensions on purpose, but we're going to move forward still because I want to show you what happens when you make an accident or a mistake. It's really not that detrimental, but I need you to see what happens and how to fix it. So go ahead and click finish sketch. And then to make an actual hole in this part, there's this feature here called hole. So you're going to click hole, and we want the hole type to be just a simple hole with no seat, and we're going to do a through wall, and the diameter should be 0.25. Go ahead and click OK. Now what will happen is if you're further along in the course, you're going to see, you're going to be creating the technical drawing for this. And you're going to look at other technical drawings, you're going to sort of be trying to match them. And then you'll notice that the hole is actually placed in the wrong spot. So what do we do when something is placed in the wrong spot? We don't have to go undo, 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 or anything like that. What we do is we go to the browser, and there's this little plus button here. We're going to drop down that hole feature because that's where that sketch lives. And then you're going to right click on that sketch and click edit sketch. And there you go. You're right back in to where you were previously. So this 0.375 right here, that's actually going to be 0.625, and press enter, and then click finish sketch. That's the actual correct placement of that hole. Now, there's a couple other things I want to show you. So keep following along because we're not done just yet. Go ahead and click on File and then click on Eye Properties. And then click on Summary. In the Summary tab, you have the title. So we're going to type in Problem 1-5, Subject, Engineering, Author. That's your name. So obviously my name is here. Your name might automatically be populated there, and that's a good thing. So we want to make sure we update those things. And then click on the Physical tab. So in the Physical tab, we have something where we can change the material of the object. So for this object, we're going to pick one sort of at random. We're going to say that it is made out of, where's aluminum? We got to scroll a bit. We're going to say it's made out of aluminum 6061. And then we're going to click Apply and Close. Hi, Chibi. I'm making a video lesson. If you hear my cat, try to ignore him. And then that's great. Now, when we make a technical drawing, that information can get pulled into it. So this part is done. Get in a really good habit of clicking on File, Save As, and then it should open up where you saved in last time. But if it didn't, take a moment to find that technical drafting folder. And we're going to name that Problem 1-5 and your initials. And it should be the IPT file type. Click Save. And then one more time, go to File, Export. Export it as a PDF. Before you do that, let me cancel out of that. Before you do that, click on the Home button so that that is centered. The object is centered. And then go to File, Export, PDF. And then click on Save. Make sure it's at PDF type. And again, that's the file type that you'll be uploading for your submission on Google Classroom. And at some point, we're going to go back and use these parts and create the actual technical drawing of these parts.